so much. Like, the lower it is, the better, honestly. The closer to negative a million it is, the better, but you do want it to block some noise.
Let's see.
I have mine to negative 50. But every mic is different. I think it's cutting you off a lot. Also, it's storming here, so that's good.
Is it cutting me off now?
No. It wasn't happening that much. It's just, I think automatic is not great when you can just set it yourself.
That makes sense. I don't really have a whole lot of background noise. So I'm in a dungeon right now.
Lineback is manually. If I go offline,
oh, was that thunder I just heard from you?
it certainly was. If I go offline because of that, the only person, well, I guess J underscore lineback is one of the racers. Tear is on Tear Race at the end of his name on Twitch. So if that has to happen, we can figure out who won that way. Hopefully I don't lose power.
Fair enough. Well, Dan appears confident.
Lineback's ready.
Nice. Almost.
They're about to start. I'm gonna give them the countdown.
Oh boy.
3, 2, 1, go. Heck is Dan doing? I don't know.
Dan, just pick a name, it doesn't matter. And they're off.
There's confusion already.
So our first open seed 2v2 of the tournament.
It's true.
Off to the expected strategy of each player starting at a different place.
When I play this solo, what I do is go to his house, grab the chest, then head right back to the sanctuary and go up that way. But you have a problem with the person going south. They don't have bombs or a weapon. There is a bomb in a bush for Tear, so that's good. That's really good. Because that allows you to get a whole bunch more. But they're currently looking for money and... Wow, 8 bombs. That's crazy.
Oh my god, wow.
That's extremely lucky. Meanwhile, GamerCal is using the Chris Houlihan room to get himself 200 smackers right out the gate. It's a pretty good plan. That's our tricky
I need to study that plan. That's one I didn't think of.
Yeah. That money will get him his bombs, guaranteed, plus the bottle guy. He's going back in to get his chest.
Full hearts.
See, what happens is, when you go out of the Chris Houlihan's room, you get put right in front of Link's house, and he got that chest while he did that.
I'm gonna need to save the game tape for that.
Dan has got his floor disabled, which is an interesting problem to have, but he's going
into
the escape.
Lineback staying with the Invisible Man character, that's a questionable decision.
Yeah, questionable indeed.
Not the highest tier rating for a sprite, especially in a racing environment.
Dan is just going with this invisible floor. He's got the thing turned off or something. He's just dealing with it, I guess.
What?
He can't... See, he went to the escape. Big mistake. You can't kill the guard that has the keys. You need to find a sword first, or something.
You can throw the pots at him.
There's no pot in that room. He has to get the key off that guard.
Oh, the guard. Yeah.
You really shouldn't go to escape, in my opinion, until... It's...
No, not until you're armed with something, for sure.
I would prefer, if I had the choice...
You to do, like, to 100% it, unless you know frame perfectly where the chest is.
If I had the choice, I would prefer having the mirror in the boots before I go into escape myself.
Yeah, the mirror is a big help.
There's the mirror, too, so Tear's got it.
Yeah, red team's off to a pretty good start.
There's a sword, so there goes Open's handicap. It's nothing but benefits in this case. It usually is. People are afraid of Open, but 90% of the time it's more of a good seed. It's better. You can just skip the escape till you feel like doing it. You get the sword right away, usually. Not always. That's when it's bad. Is when you don't. But usually you do.
Yeah, Dan should be getting the sword very shortly. Assuming, well, he needs a bomb though. So perhaps that's where he's going, hunting for one.
Yep. He's going to the desert to check the one cave he can do. Terror's on his low health here. These crabs could kill him. He's gotta be careful here. A little bit.
Seems like he'll be just fine. See, so where was the lantern that Dan found?
I'm not sure.
I missed
Power
that
gloves in Linebeck's village hut, so that's pretty good.
one. Yeah.
50 cents.
So Red has not ventured into the village yet, have they?
No.
Interesting. With all the quick bombage, I thought they would go there pretty quickly. But GamerCal will probably head right over there in a second.
I need to do a better job tracking GamerCal. I haven't been working on that. So I don't know what he has exactly. He might also have the lamp and stuff. If it was an escape. He wasn't there. He does. So that's probably where it was.
Just select random items and confuse your audience.
He's got the flippers, bombs, and escape. And the lamp. That's what was in there.
Ah.
Terra goes down to something. He's running around with low health for a long time.
Will that be a costly death?
Probably not.
Yeah. So what is happening to Dan's... What did he turn off on his emulator, if anything?
SNES 9X has layers for the ground and the background and stuff, and he just turned it off somehow, and he didn't turn it back on yet. He's trying to figure, like, quickly, without stopping, figure out what button. Really needs to figure it out. Like, it's gonna be pretty hard to do Turtle Rock and stuff without seeing the floor.
Perhaps Dan is so confident in their chances at winning that he just feels the need to give his team a disadvantage.
Invisible Man? Invisible floor.
Invisible Man? How about invisible everything else? Between all of us, we can't see shit.
Yeah, the SNES runs on 5 layers, basically, and SNES 9X and a couple other emulators allow you to turn them off one by one. Usually to capture sprites and stuff, but in this case, he accidentally turned it off. GamerCal found another sword. That means the Master Sword is very easy to find in this generous-ass open seed.
So they each found a sword in a different place, right, on the red team?
Yeah. One's in this cave, and one is over on the lake cave.
So assuming they're communicating well, they are going to pull ahead pretty quickly. Because green team has not found... Or no, Lineback found a sword. Never mind.
Every player should have the Master Sword here before 20 minutes in.
Oh, they all have the sword. My bad.
Well, now they can do the escape. I would expect Terra to do it, because he can really jet through it in a couple minutes. Like, 3 minutes, and he can do all of it.
Sure.
With those items.
Mirroring out of Zelda's dungeon, head right up to the rats. Easy peasy. No need to waste time in the running game in the village. It's always good to see. So when should we expect some Dark Worldage to enter the picture?
When the Moon Pearl shows up. Haven't seen it yet. Could be anywhere. They might have to do Aghanim still on this seed. Remains to be seen. I didn't see what was in Woodcutter's hut, if anyone went that way. There's the Master Sword, first one. Terra has it.
Very good.
So
it looks like Hera and Eastern Palace are pendants.
That's too bad. Hate to see
those
that.
are not the ones you want to see.
There's a little bit of information sharing here, but not too much.
So perhaps GamerCal is going to take a peek in Eastern Palace, despite not having the bow. Perfectly reasonable thing to do in a co-op situation. I've learned from having missed many things from not doing Eastern Palace, despite not being able to complete it. The boots!
For GamerCal as well, yeah. Red team is communicating really well. Green team just doesn't have anything. He really wants to do the escape. And I don't know that it's as valuable as he seems to think it is. Like, it's pretty much another dungeon. Also, his dungeon's screwed up. It's a nice dungeon.
Yeah, there's an added dimension of challenge to it.
I would definitely... It's worth the 10 seconds to figure out how to fix this, my man. I might load it up.
Maybe Dan's counting on beating a boss and using the transition time to fix it, maybe?
Look at him try and figure out where the face is in the...
Oh, man. You've never seen an escape quite like this. And it's all the more terrible because Dan is a Boo character who should be able to float over all of this in the first place, but... Unfortunately, the different sprites don't let you cheat.
I'm gonna open up the game and figure out how to tell him how to turn this on real quick. That's what that noise
Looks
is.
like Dan is on tech support right now.
Does anyone know where that stupid setting is for that crap?
Yeah, apparently he's using SNES 9X.
Probably. Did he figure it out? It looks like it's
we'll
on.
find out. Oh, and he has to go all the way back down there slowly. Bootless.
He figured it out.
Okay.
Well, nice work, Dan. Let me just close that.
It is unfortunate when some tech issues cause you a lot of seconds.
Anyway, like I was saying, this dungeon that he really wants to do without the boots of the mirror, it's pretty crappy. What are we talking about? 4 treasures for 5 minutes of time?
Yeah, and the time it takes to backtrack.
Like Uncle and the chest beside him and the Sanctuary chest, those are pretty easy to get. And the 3 in Escape in the back, you can get those with just the power gloves, pretty much. So you get those whenever. You don't need to do Escape for those. So really you're talking about Zelda's chest and one other
3
chest
things
on the way. Yeah, and those could be keys in the map and stuff easily, depending on what you got elsewhere. You might not have to do any of that.
I've noticed the escape and opens, or the graveyard part, tends to be a little less valuable because the odds of one of those 3 chests having a key increases, because you can now go backwards to the escape to get the other chest.
Yep. Open definitely accounts for it being open. They don't allow you to lock yourself out in this either. So they easily could put the key in the back of Escape and make one of the 3 chests bad.
Yeah. Doesn't look like Dan found anything all that helpful.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Meanwhile, Lineback checking on dying Uncle. Let's see what the Uncle gives. Invisible Link with his final breath.
We're seeing a lot of Light World.
His lamp.
Because they really need to find that Moon Pearl.
Yes. But Red Team is swimming in money, literally. And is going to turn that in for a heart. I did not catch what was on the way up, but judging from the save and quit, it was not good.
It was either bombs or heartbeat. It was something forgettable like that.
Yeah. See, so where have they not gone yet? Have we seen Death Mountain get explored at all?
No, we also haven't seen any dungeons. They could theoretically go into Eastern Palace and get 3 items there.
It's probably worth one teammate doing.
I think so. We haven't seen the end of Escape. We're checking it now with GamerCal here, it looks like. There it is. Really? He's saving and quitting instead of opening the last chest?
Open the other chest? No! It could have anything in it.
I think he knows that it's the map, maybe? I don't know how he could know that.
Oh, his partner already got the Moon Pearl.
Oh, I see why. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I didn't notice he got that. Yeah, I was excited to see it. But Terra's actually on the way to Aghanim. He thinks that's the play. I wonder if GamerCal's going to go up instead. Looks like it.
So why are they thinking... This is part of my noviceness, but why are they thinking Aghanim is necessary when they have both a Power Glove and a Moon Pearl?
They don't have the hammer? It could be.
Fair.
It could easily be wrong.
You can still check, like, Thieves Town without the hammer.
Can't get in. You need the hammer to get to Dark World.
Oh, you're right. Oh yeah, you need either the Titanus or the hammer. That's right.
Yeah, so one of those two items could easily be in the mountain,
Yeah.
but in case they're not, he's already going to be exploring by the time Gamer Cal's done up there. And he'll have a warp frag in him. It's really not a big waste of time. It's a good plan.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem to have reasonable routing down.
It's better than both of them doing the same thing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, lineback checking Eastern.
This little guy's rocking the wrong place here.
Old man leading old man to safety, giving him some explosives for his efforts. One thing I need to figure out to do is the whole spin the sword and go fast trick when you don't have the hook shot.
It's a matter of releasing spin, and then one frame after letting go of the button you were holding, you press dash. That's all there is to it. Just getting that to happen not so easy, but that's...
So you just have to go, basically.
Yep, within one frame, so really fast.
It's a tight frame.
Master Sword and Mir and all that for Dan, they're not too far behind,
Yep.
but they're going to start losing time here with the other team already going into the Dark World.
Yeah, exploration-wise, Red is a bit ahead.
I would say so. They've checked most everything in Light World except the dungeons, and one of them's doing that now. The only
Yeah.
dungeon that has a crystal in it, actually, right? So,
I believe Hera had a pendant. I believe it was Hera and Eastern. Unless I'm mistaken.
well, they can't get to the desert.
True.
He's got to do the basement. He will.
Probably important enough to risk checking.
Linebeck is cleaning up Eastern Palace, and it looks like he hasn't found anything yet, but he's almost done.
Yeah, Eastern's not too costly of a time commitment if you can't complete it. Will the big chest have anything worthwhile?
If it does, we're going to see Green Team suddenly jump ahead, but if not, then they're just wasting... yeah, they're
And
not
the
catching
verdict
up.
is wasting their time, sadly.
They're not catching up with 300 rupees. This risk
No.
didn't pay off.
Yeah, Lineback needs to get out of dodge. And he is.
It is a bit of a risky little gamble when you're going independent dungeons
Yeah.
without a guarantee of success.
So meanwhile, Dan's swimming around like Hylia, showing us that the island has nothing important. I don't know if Red Team already checked under the bridge or not.
I didn't see him do that. Lineback's still playing that invisible man.
And... nope. Well, Green's doing some good splitting up, but unfortunately it's just yielding nothing useful.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see if the pyramid has something, because that's... the hammer is what's stopping you from getting here, and if the hammer's here, now it's just 300 rupees again.
No.
Okay. Well, he doesn't have the hook shot. He really doesn't gain much from this then. He can't go anywhere right now, except...
Yeah, where can you access? They have the
Catfish.
flippers, so yeah, they can go up right all the way.
He has the power gloves, so he can go to the catfish. That's it. It's literally the only thing he can do in the dark
Could
world.
go inside of Palace of Darkness if they're desperate. You can get all of the treasures in there without the hammer, I believe, or all except.
Without the bow,
Oh, the bow too. Yeah, good point.
there's a small chance. I don't know what the odds are, but it feels like, I don't know, I
Yeah.
would say 1 in 6 that the key isn't in the first chest, in which case you have to bail. Without the bow, can't do anything.
Right. So can you go anywhere else? Catfish has something huge that's going to make them
Whoa.
get way ahead.
The flute.
Oh, the flute.
I would save it quick.
That
That's him.
opens up. So yeah, you want to jet over to the village right now. Turn on that duck. Will Moldorm claim a victim? I mean, me personally, I've never fallen off against Moldorm. I don't know about you.
Nah. Totally didn't happen last time.
No. Just doesn't happen. So we got green team representing Death Mountain now.
Flute doesn't actually equal progress, that's true. It is probably going to save a lot of time.
It makes exploration a lot more efficient.
Yeah, it certainly does that. It doesn't get him anywhere new, though, and it's not going to help him find anything great. There's the hammer, though, up in Tower of Hera on Moldorm, which is a big deal for Red Team. They were way ahead with that.
Dan is not too far behind, so if he finishes it...
With the combination of the flute and the hammer, I'm putting Red Team ahead here by a little bit, but
yeah,
hopefully
this
Dan has
green has not decided to go after Aghanim yet.
Dan does have the means to do Tower of Hera too, so it's working on it.
Yeah. But he will have to spend the time in the basement. He's not going to the basement, though.
It's got a
Dan probably hoping that there's just a map or a compass downstairs.
Blue potion bottle there.
Tear a little iffy on health, but should be okay.
Looking for
just don't do Spike Cave.
Wouldn't be able to do it, even if he had a full heal. The cape might buy him enough time, actually, with a full heal.
We've done the math on that. Maximum amount of hearts you need, assuming you have either a cape or a life refill.
If you don't have anything, then you need about 14 hearts, which is the same case for having a full heal. Hookshot will knock one or two off if you use it right. Having the there's Tempered Sword and Ether. Having the cape or the cane pretty much guarantees your success, though. There's Titan Mitts. Mountain is a huge place to go in this seed.
Yeah, can see why Tear is tearing it up in Hera right now. Wants to get all those goodies that his partner's getting.
He's got a lot of options for movement now.
Meanwhile, we got a little bit of synchronization from Tear and Dan. A race to finish Hera first and get that hammer.
He's gonna go check Hookshot Cave and the two chests on the way. He can't get 3 of the chests in Hookshot Cave. What he can do is get the first one and the 2 on the right and check Turtle Rock to see what he needs to open it.
Important information. Meanwhile, Green Team's made the executive decision to do Aghanim now.
It's a good decision, but it's not ultimately a good one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Turns out that everything was in the light world, which is common.
Turns out the Moldorm was the key to everything this time.
That's common too, honestly.
Yeah, just sucks when it's a pendant boss that has something especially important.
Yep, I gambled on doing that in this weekly and it did not pay off. I was probably one of the few who did unlock a way up there and quickly went and did it and regretted it.
So Turtle Rock requires Bombos, which no one has found as of yet.
Dang shame.
Meanwhile, Gamer Cal checking the first chest in Hookshot Cave, because perhaps it has the hookshot. It could have
bottle.
No. Bottle with some blue juice in it. Not a bad prize.
They all seem to have that in it. I think he might be going after Spike Cave with all these full heals he's got.
Ooh, Tear whiffed a bomb jump and unfortunately is going to fall a couple floors.
Yeah, that's a dangerous one to try.
Yeah. I am not comfortable making those kinds of bomb jumps. I tend to just go up the stairs and fall from there to get to that chest.
I'm pretty good at bomb jumps, especially that kind, but I still usually don't like to do it. That one is too much of a risk. It saves some time.
Especially when you can fall 2 floors. That'll set you back a little bit.
You have to set it up to fall 2 floors if you actually want to be able to walk back. If you don't have the boots, you've got to do it.
Gamer Cow doing a Spike Cave, but unfortunately the only treasures it held was the notion of holding 5 more arrows than you currently have.
Dan the Enigma making a horrible choice. That's going to cost him the race.
What did Dan do? Oh, Dan foregoes Moldorm.
He found the bow, okay, and then he bailed out. He didn't kill the boss.
Dan took that to mean go mode. Yeah, that is going to be devastating.
That's gonna make... They just lost. Dan just killed the...
Yeah,
He just-
yeah, the hammer is so important.
He
Clear.
didn't get both items in the dungeon. He didn't track it right. He bailed out early. They're in a lot
Do you think
of trouble.
Do you think Dan just assumed the bow was the second treasure and forgot?
Maybe.
Miscounted?
I don't know what he's doing right now.
I can see some rationale in maybe gambling that the second treasure is not important if you find a really good one prior.
Dan did the spin right. It looks like he's going back
But,
up. I don't know why he left in that case.
Maybe realizing miscounting the stuff? Or it could be that they're running out of options. Because
I mean, they
without
are.
the hammer, all of Death Mountain is cut off. So
They really can't do anything other than check Aghanim's, and once Aghanim's dead,
So perhaps Dan just realized that they don't have a choice but to go back.
he really can't go anywhere except catfish. That's seriously it. Like, they don't have
And
the hammer
that's-
or the mitts.
Linebeck is technically on catfish duty right now, so...
I have no idea why he left. I'll have to ask him when we pull him in here. That looked like a devastating mistake, though. It certainly cost him a couple minutes, but if he didn't think that he should come and finish this dungeon, that would have been the end of it, because it wouldn't have been Linebeck's fault. He would have just kept on trooping through the wrong place.
So meanwhile, Red Team is catching up on each other's exploration, getting the very important stuff.
Yep.
Gamer Cal acquiring the flute and
Terrible
Tear.
denied a fairy.
Yeah. Being denied a fairy, but winning some swords and gloves. Eventually.
Being denied a second fairy and dying.
Oh!
Wow.
Sometimes greed is not good when it comes to watching for your health.
That's
So let that be a lesson to all of you. Stay unhealthy.
That's
Don't
unfortunate.
try to get better. It's fine. It'll work out better that way. That's what I took from this. That's a bit costly, but Green Team still has some catching up to do.
Half mana in King's Tomb. It's nice to have.
Not bad. Probably not worth your partner getting, though. Unless it's on the
he's
way
in
to
the
something
area.
else.
I would
Yeah.
probably want it, but not going out of there just to get that unless the other caves in the area had something.
Yeah. So where does Red Team go next? There's so much open up to them now.
As far as I know, Aghanim has no value, yeah, unless that one item on the woodcutter side is something good, but I don't think it was. I didn't see it, though. I'm not sure.
Now the Agnum Gambit I don't think pays off, but both teams went for it just out of desperation.
Yep.
Apparent lack of options.
Dan fell on the boss. He hasn't killed it yet. And he's really
And,
hurt.
oh, Dan going up with only one heart, too.
He's got the cape, and he should use it.
Yes.
Make this
Ooh,
easier.
that was a bold place to jump down to Moldorm, but it paid off.
He will die in one hit if this thing decides to push him the wrong way. He really should use his cape to guarantee victory here. The cape is extremely good for this. And
This
anything.
happens to me a lot. I don't consider the items I have.
He's got it. Nice work.
Ooh, that was a close one. Good job, Dan.
Gamer Cal has the mitts and the flute, so he can just go wherever he wants.
So, have we found out the optional Dark World dungeon yet? I haven't seen either team pull up the Dark World map. And somebody's not sharing the spoilers.
I wasn't paying attention.
That's fair.
There's the hook
You've
shot.
talked over enough of these races that... Ooh, hook shot, yes.
Well, I mean, there's only one that's optional, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Red team has quite the advantage in items and exploration potential.
They do. Linebeck has the flute. Dan's got the hammer. They're about to catch up on the big stuff, but the hook shot's gonna help a lot. Gamer Cal's got that.
Yeah. By the time they get that stuff, Red team's going to have a big information and exploration lead. Terror checking Dark Hype Cave. Meanwhile, Gamer Cal looks like going to knock out the desert, all in the neighborhood of Mire. Picking up some extra old man mail for the effort.
There's that Bombos.
Nice.
Gamer Cal must have it as well, because he knew exactly what to do there.
Yep.
People in the chat are saying Turtle Rock was the optional one. That might be the case, I'm not sure.
That's nice. If true.
They're really only missing a couple things here. Whatever they need from Meyer, which I didn't catch.
Yeah, what do they need for go mode?
Red Cane and
The bow? Or no, they got the bow. I just saw Tear update the tracker. Tear also apparently found the fire rod. I missed the acquisition of that.
yeah, I didn't see that. Mushroom is the desert item. The only one.
Tear picking up the hook shot off the recommendation of his partner, I'm sure.
He needs it.
Yep.
Swamp is mandatory.
And, you know, Ganon's Tower.
Yep.
Unless you are very good at that weird frame dashing thing. And I'm not.
Few are.
Looks like red team's just in alignment right now. Both doing the desert. Oh, nope, never mind. Tear just wanted to get the blue mail. Although the desert is mandatory eventually, right?
Yeah.
Probably the right move, though. Want to cover some more ground while your buddy's doing the other thing.
You gotta find that cane. I think that's it. Just the cane. As long as Meyer can be opened. Tear going for that half mana.
Might as well, easy enough to get. I often depend on that half mana myself. So Dan getting the Turtle Rock intel. They do not have Bombos yet. So especially in the Dark World, they're a little behind on exploration there. And what was the pendant for Meyer?
I don't know.
I know both people on red passed it, but I didn't notice.
They have to go over to take a glance at it, and I didn't catch it when they did.
Yeah. Nice Choco music, by the way.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Fiddle-dee chocobo.
I mean, what better choice for a racing situation than this?
There is none.
No.
How about the FF9
Whenever
chocobo
I'm in
music?
Whenever I'm in a hurry to do anything, this is always in my head. So red now knocking out some Dark World dungeons. Some two pretty efficient ones that you would want to do.
Blinds and Palace of Darkness, good choice. Good setup. He could do Eastern as well, he probably will. Know that it doesn't pay off though, because of Green Team. Dan goes down.
Oh.
I blame Boo. It's a horrible model, it's hard to use.
Yeah, I would not want to use a floaty sprite in this.
I would be annoyed if my partner was playing the Invisible Man by
Yeah.
just by reason of it would hurt.
That's probably worth asking in the post-game interview. Like, why you main Invisible Man, bro? Meanwhile, red team using some solid sprites in Old Man and Girl.
Green Team is
Another
just missing a ton of stuff compared to red.
Yeah. Like, red is so far ahead in Dark World that I'm not sure how red or green can make up the gap. Dan is about to get the Dew Palace of Darkness, it looks like. Nope, never mind.
Nothing has been too hard to find. They just need to be the first to find the red cane and get all the stuff that they are trailing on, which is quite a bit at this point, but they can still come back.
Yeah, red cane is the thing at this point, right?
Yep.
Unless Meyer required Quake. I don't think it did, though. Perhaps it did.
Red team hasn't done a whole lot of dungeons yet. It's only been 30 minutes, though, and they're working on it now.
Yeah.
They're on pace to have 4 or 5 of them done within the hour if they don't find the red cane. If they found it right now, they probably would have them all done in an hour and be ready for Ganon. It's the way they're going. The fastest seed we've had in this, I think it was an hour, what was it, an hour 6? Something like that.
Dang.
I'm really bad at remembering things like that, but it was an hour and some change. It might have been an hour and 3, honestly.
Oh my god.
Can't remember which it was.
Did you call the team in for a drug test after that? Because I would.
It was one of the few matches that I didn't rebroadcast, but I had the logs and I saw the VOD.
And you took extensive notes? Looked for anything suspicious?
You bet.
Any
Studied
shenanigans? Hired some analysts?
They're showing off with the hammer on blind for some reason.
I mean, why not? You gotta have some fun.
If he gets taken out, that would be fun for everybody.
Ooh, that was uncomfortably close.
That would have been hubris backfire.
I'm assuming Terra knows that anything that hits blind does the same damage.
Yeah, I bet there's no way that he doesn't.
Yeah. Still no red cane. Unless the tracker's not being updated and I missed it. So Tears just clean up the rest of Thieves Town while GamerCal wraps up Pod. And Lineback's just trying to wrap up the Death Mountain stuff since he spent some time doing Agnem. Needs to get all that stuff.
GamerCal skipped a chest on the right, and I'm not sure why. Hopefully it's not the one with the red cane in it, I guess.
Interesting. Which chest did you miss?
The one that you go through a door and there's spikes sliding back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
He isn't going for it. It looks like it's just a key, though, so it's fine.
He did the calculations, knows how many keys there are?
I don't think he could have because he still had 3 chests open.
No.
He got lucky, though, on it, it looks like, because it's not anything.
Not even gonna bother picking up those 50 rupees. The digging monster gets an extra tip.
You know what? Maybe he figured out a way to read it because he wouldn't have been able to lock himself out of the dungeon if he had just 1 key. Then it would have had to have been a key. That might be what he did. I'm not sure,
Could
though.
be. Perhaps GamerCal did the maths.
Yeah, like he did have to unlock a door to get in there, so maybe that's what happened. I'm not sure. Checking
Ooh,
the
but
black.
does not hit the bullseye on the eye of the green monster. That's poor form.
Tara and I were talking about the weekly seed and how this chest that he's doing right now is what got us, so he's checking it now. 37 minutes in.
Of course, doing so will mean that this has something useless inside now.
5 arrows.
As
Not 50
does
rupees.
tend to be the case. Wah, wah. So where else could the Red Cane be at this point? Ice Palace?
Could be anywhere. Any of the dungeons we haven't seen. It could be in one of the pendant
Skull
dungeons.
Woods? The pedestal?
Skull
No one
Woods
has
could
checked
be
the
done.
pedestal.
It could be in there.
Skull Woods, I believe, was the third pendant dungeon.
If Turtle Rock is a pendant dungeon, then it's not up there. It really depends on what the pendant dungeon is.
Yeah. I think it was Skull Woods. So Tear doing double duty. Checking Batman and Purple Chest.
I think you just do all of them if you can when you're over there.
Absolutely. Smart move. Good play.
If you have the flute, the chest is not so bad.
Yeah. And you can save and quit with it if you have to. Batman has the ancient magic of holding 5 more arrows.
The curse of capacity.
Mm-hmm. Imagine how much your back will hurt if you have to carry 45 arrows from now on. Ha! Got him. Excellent. Solid music choice here.
Thank you.
Mm.
So, Terra did a glitch where you can run with the chest, which is something with hookshot that I'm not really sure about how it's done exactly. It's not complicated, I just haven't done it myself, so I don't remember the
Major glitch disqualified!
It's something like you fire the hookshot and then start running, I don't remember. But it keeps the chest from dislodging off of you.
Did some fancy pants stuff for 20 bucks.
Gamer Cal's in Eastern. Everybody's losing time looking for this red cane now.
Yep.
Green
It
team is
is
looking for
the
other
item.
things, so they haven't even found the hookshot yet. Really,
True.
one of them should have stopped at Meyer as soon as they got the mitts, because there's 3 chests there, and you need to know if, what Dan's dead.
Ooh.
You need
Dan
to know
takes a
what.
poor- oh,
medallion
yeah.
you need.
I was
can't-
about to say Dan's gonna prove that other key that Gamer Cal missed probably has a key in it as well, but perhaps in a bit.
Oh, it definitely does, and I assume he knew that if he skipped a chest. I just wasn't
Yeah.
sure how he knew that. But I guess he has a way. I'm pretty sure if he only had 1 key going left, then he would have known. Just by the way the logic had to work. It's a little advanced, but basically you can't lock yourself out, so that means the key must be in that chest that you used the key to get to.
Hmm. Everything you're saying is true, but I still want to see what's inside. In this randomizer business, we like proof. Not just, rational statements. So Swamp Palace now from Tear. Tearing it up, as they say.
Dan also skipping that chest.
Perhaps Dan has done the same maths. Maybe both teams just really hate that one specific chest for no particular reason. Or it has a key and they know that, because it has to.
Yeah, I would have made the mistake opening it, because I'm not sure how they know that.
You just kind of know how many doors ahead of you are keyed, I guess.
Yep.
And then subtract the ones that you
Well, I mean,
could
he
have
just found the
skipped,
map,
or-
so it could have been the map in the other chest, and the compass too.
True.
It just seems like a strange, and they both knew it, so I'm missing something in how they worked that out.
Maybe they touched the Triforce before the race and they wished to know the location of keys in this specific race.
That's a good wish.
That's what you get from the Triforce of Wisdom.
I wished for apple cores.
That's a bad wish.
What?
I don't think Wisdom would give you apple cores. Oh, Dan is checking that chest.
There it is. There's that key. I mean, he just forgot.
There's your...
Yeah,
Well-
I just don't know how he could have. He should have known when it was the last one left, no question. But I don't know how he would have known earlier than that. There must have been a way.
It's got to be the Triforce.
Maybe he just wanted to check it last and then knew right away when it was done that it had to be key.
That's reasonable.
It seems likely that and the other... There's two. There's the one where the regular big key is at in this. That also requires a key to get to. Those two are often keys.
So is that the green pendant from Eastern Palace? I'm having a little trouble
Yeah, that's it.
seeing with the weird res. Okay.
Someday I'll get good internet and I can have HD on your side as well.
Actually, I just noticed that blue was already selected for GamerCal, so I could have intuited that. I just wanted to make fun of your bad internet, Smite.
Thank you. 3 megs up.
You got to get that business class stuff, man.
I was thinking about it. There's 5 bomb capacity as a reward.
According to this pendant, you are stronger than you think. You can
More
carry
courageous
5
than
more
you.
explosives.
Courageously carrying 5 explosives.
Yeah.
Fiber in my area is 10 and 10. It's not even good. It's just embarrassing.
Oh.
The internet I had before I moved was 120 and 15.
Well, why'd you move then, man?
I know. That house didn't have a pool. I had no choice.
Oh, that's why. Can you get internet in your pool?
I can.
Okay. It's a pretty good deal then.
Wi-Fi.
Because Fi.
Good.
Thank you.
Can't
Thank
believe
you.
the power went off when you said that.
That's the power I have over the online. So Dan's wrapping up Pod, GamerCal wrapping up Thieves Town, and Terry wrapping up Swamp Palace, but still no Red Cane to be seen despite all of this divergence.
Yeah, the fiber is 10 and 10. Infrastructure's complicated. Sometimes that's the way it is. And it's expensive as regular fiber is too. You usually expect an extra couple digits on those with fiber, but that's not the case here.
What if you move back to your old place, but take your pool with you?
That's a good plan.
That's what I would do.
GamerCal is checking the cemetery ledge. They're starting to go to these fringe places desperately looking for this.
Whoever finds it first, which judging from where people are, probably will be red.
Red team has
Whoever
done
finds that
all
first
of
is...
swamp and they still haven't found it. There's so many chests have been checked.
I don't think they've gone to Skull Woods.
Nope, nobody's done that, I don't think. That seems like a good place to check if you're going to do pendant dungeons.
I mean, at this point, if you're already kind of going out of your way in these places, you might as well.
I think GamerCal
It's
should do it.
Yeah, it's technically 3 items you can check too, with the pedestal being included.
Yeah. At this point, and that's probably what he's doing, checking
Looks
that.
like it, yeah. See, that's why we're here. Oh, never mind. Not doing that. Or it could be, actually.
He is.
Yes, it is. That's why you have us on for these things, because we predict the big plays. We're here to make it where you don't really have to think about this stuff.
I don't know why he
the
went down
complex
this way.
strats. Yeah, I've never fallen down this particular hole. I've heard with the new
changed.
logic, this is guaranteed to be a key now.
Yeah, that's why. I don't really understand the move here.
Yeah.
You don't ever
'Cause
have to
there's-
go in that room unless the other two didn't give you a key.
Maybe GamerCal could just be wanting to beeline it for the pedestal?
Could be.
Because
No,
I
he's doing
guess
left.
that's a... Oh, is he going that way?
It's. I mean, you can
That's
just fall on the left side and go. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
why I
you
went
wouldn't
this
have
way.
to use up a key that way.
Well, there's an item.
That's
I mean,
one.
He didn't lose a whole
One
lot
out
of
of
time. It's
two.
just a confusing direction. I would be happy with, honestly, 6 megs up, and I would be unable to use all of it. I would be fine with that.
I have 5 myself.
You really
which is-
don't need to be doing high bandwidth streams on Twitch when you're streaming at 720p, and you're really just going to mess up people's ability to watch it. I would advise against it.
So for something like this, you think like 1,000, 1,500?
Yeah. On the player's end, 1,000 is more than enough. On my end, I would probably bump it up a little bit if I could. It's not great, but it's good enough. And you can use encoding to slow it down and stuff. I'll just talk about how to run a stream properly while we're waiting for somebody to find the right cane. So you
This
know,
is like the commercial break portion of the show.
if you have a really good CPU, you can actually get away with really low bandwidth, and it still looks pretty nice, which is what I've got going on. But you really shouldn't. The thing about it is, if you're running at 5 megs up on your broadcast, you're allowed to do that now. Used to be against the rules, but they raised it recently, this year, actually. If people have trouble watching your stream because of that, like their internet can't quite handle it, which is not uncommon, it really is, and it's probably like 20% of your audience. They could use quality options to fix it. They probably won't. They'll probably just leave. They probably will just bail out. So that's just why it's a bad idea.
See the desperation of the red team wanting to find this cane. Going back to the big chest in Skullwoods, doing... Well, Ice Palace, I guess they have to do.
It's just not showing up.
But... Tear just going to have to 100% Ice Palace, probably. Unless... GamerCal can find it on the pedestal.
Those high bandwidth things are definitely not for this kind of game. I would use it on an FPS and a racing game.
Something with a lot of action going on at once, a lot of movement.
And I still run at 720p. I don't do 1080p. If I ever bumped it up to that, then that kind of bandwidth would be justified. But 720p...
Tear nails the Ice Palace bomb jump first try.
Nice work.
Just like I do every time when I do it.
There's the blue tunic for Dan the Enigma. This is one of those seeds where everyone's going to survive pretty easily, and they're just not going to be able to finish.
Yeah, those are the ones that are the most frustrating. Where you're ready to just go, but you can't.
I like to play fast. I don't care about my health. I try to deal with it. I would prefer having no health in all the items every time.
I'm not a risk taker with these kinds of things.
Usually you can go buy a bottle or something.
Hey, Dark Tower, nice. See, this should play in Ganon's Tower, this song.
Well, now you can get that to happen. You can turn off the music.
It's true. So I didn't notice if GamerCal found both items in Skullwoods. I just noticed the +5 arrows, so I don't know if Mothula could have something.
He hasn't found the other thing yet. It's a heart piece. There it is.
Okay, well, pedestal check, here we come.
Ice Palace is looking pretty grim also.
GamerCal can actually turn in the pendants now as well.
Yep.
So whatever's in the pedestal is GamerCal's for the taking.
I think that was the plan. He's gonna blind.
A solid plan.
This is the first blind pull we've seen in a race. In the first open seed. Do you think it's here?
I don't know where else it could be.
Let's play some...
Could be in Turtle Rock, maybe? Oh, here we go. Survey says...
quick.
Oh.
I don't know if they need Quake. Depends
so
on Meyer.
Turtle Rock, then?
If he goes to Meyer right now...
Well, no, you can't get anything in Turtle Rock without the red cane, so never mind. At least we know where it's not. Yeah, so where's GamerCal not been?
I don't know where he's going because he can't do anything in Turtle Rock. He can't go anywhere.
Did GamerCal get the Dark World Death Mountain items?
Yeah.
Hookshot Cave? Could it be in Hookshot Cave?
It's not. If he hasn't done that, Green Team has. I'm pretty sure he did, though.
Yeah. I saw, I think, Tear go into Hookshot Cave before they found the hookshot. I don't know if they ever went back to it, though.
There's no major glitches allowed, so he's not allowed to get into Turtle Rock without the red cane. I don't know where he's going right now. He's leaving. It looks like he's climbed for fun the mountain. He just climbed up there as a hobby.
Maybe was counting on going to Turtle Rock, but then realized, like, oh yeah, I can't get anything in there. Getting some reps in, keeping old man healthy. Cardiovascular health matters when you're trying to save Hyrule.
Tear just found it.
Oh, nice.
It was in the back of Ice Cave. I don't know where...
Is it? There's the drums.
Where was GamerCal going is the question. I'm not sure what he was about to do.
I think just mentally, maybe was just expecting to go into Turtle Rock while his partner was wrapping up Ice Palace, and then realized that that's not going to work. And now he's in Ice Palace.
He went to Ice Palace as soon as he heard where the red cane was. But I'm really not sure where he was going. He
Only
might
thing I
have
can
been-
think of is the rest of Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, it's no telling when Green Team is gonna hop into Ice Palace, so that considered, Red is gonna have to make quite a catastrophic mistake for Green to catch up at this point.
Green's got a boatload of problems.
One, playing as the Invisible Man.
Yeah, that's number one on the list, is that they can't see
That's-
themselves. What
Like,
happens
how
when
is
the...
Blind even following Link right now? That doesn't make any sense.
he's falling the mirror shield, obviously. You just fall that to your death.
Well, that's weird. That should scare Blind.
Blind isn't afraid of anything.
Yeah.
That's why they're the
guess not.
boss.
Blind is afraid of not puns.
Blind is responsible for all the crime in Hyrule. You think they're scared of a shield?
Blind back whipping out the blue cane immediately against Blind. Doesn't want to mess around.
What is the Dark World Invisible Man become? The Visible Man? Naked Link? Just busted?
Just like a butt naked Link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if the Invisible Man lost his powers, all of a sudden that's what he becomes?
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you were an Invisible Man, you probably would not wear clothes, I would assume.
Yeah, they give you away.
Yeah. See, Gamer Calvin a little bit of trouble with the bomb jump
There he goes.
as far as positioning, but looks
No,
like
not quite.
I still struggle with this.
For more information on Invisible Men, check out a movie by Chevy Chase. It's terrible. Enjoy.
There we go. Gamer Cal got it.
What is that movie called? I'm gonna look it up. Cause I got nothing better to do as I watch.
National
wrestling.
Lampoon's Invisible Man, I think.
That might be it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Man, this guy's in a lot of movies that I've never heard of. Just
Well, Smite, you probably weren't into a lot of movies in the 70s and 80s.
it's Three Amigos, and then he took it off for 20 years, and then he's in all kinds of junk.
How many movies with the word vacation in them?
Memoirs of an Invisible Man. That's it. 5 out of 10 on IMDb. A
So we'll
yuppie
have to
turns
tell
invisible.
Lineback. Lineback cannot write memoirs about this race titled that, otherwise could get sued.
Yeah.
Gamer Cal picking up the red cane. Full go mode for red team now. Meanwhile, green... Well, they have found the hook shot. Lineback has not picked it up yet, unless the tracker's not updated. But
Play
that
some
lack of
drums.
red cane... Those are some deserved drums.
They are.
And turns out Invisible Man with armor upgrades is still not visible. I'm assuming Lineback picked up the blue mill. So red just has to do what they're doing right now in Turtle Rock? Or do they have to do a few more crystals?
Red has a lot of work to do on crystals, especially Gamer Cal, because he spent all that time doing pendants. He's got a lot of stuff to do. Terra's one dungeon ahead of him. They're still a ways off of winning. They are in go mode though. He
Yeah.
can go through Swamp really quick for one.
Well, Green's trackers are accurate. They have an equal amount of dungeons to complete as well.
Yeah. Terra already did the annoying ones.
Yeah.
He can tell Gamer Cal where to go in them.
So you figured out if you're doing anything special for the finals of this yet? Or is it
If
going to
the
be open all
players
the way?
are up for it, I'll do swordless. We'll see.
Ew. Well, when I make the finals, I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make anybody do swordless if they don't feel like it.
Doesn't seem fun to me.
Oh yeah? Could be a good
No.
time. Could be a blast.
Well, you convinced me. You know, if your tournament's still going on by the time MagFest rolls around, you could have a live match on site. Because, you know, this tournament will probably go into, like, 2019, 2020 even, I would think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of matches to go.
I'll be steering away from the old double elimination tournament in the future, but
What's the next big tournament for Smite.television?
I mean, you missed the mystery tournament, right? The races we were doing?
The
Mystery
probably?
triathlon.
Yeah, I did not see those.
I made people do 3 random challenges for various NES and SNES games.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that.
I'll probably do that again. People wanted a sequel. I'm ready.
A mystery quadathlon?
I thought it was a good format. 3 was good, but I do need to make sure that the challenges are a little bit more fair than they were, because we had a lot of timeouts. I didn't really want timeouts at all. But if I've learned anything from the relay race on Arcade Pit, people are much worse at the random video games than I expect. Some of them are just games that I played too much and I have too much experience with, so I try and balance them and they're way off a lot of the times. I need to have a test guy.
Your taste in games is questionable at best.
It's true. I mean, I'm playing Link to the Past in 2017 when I have Breath of the Wild over here sitting collecting dust.
Did you finish Breath of the Wild?
I did.
Did you play it for Wii U or Switch?
Wii U.
Would you recommend it?
It was pretty good. I wouldn't say it's the greatest game ever, like some people are saying, but I think they're saying that because it's their first open world game, and they those games tend to absorb you. They absorb me, certainly. So I could see you putting 80 hours into it and still having an okay time at best. Like I thought it was pretty good, but it had some really weird decisions that I didn't think belonged in a modern open world game, like the rain ruining your exploration ability a little bit.
Rain ruins exploration?
You can't climb when it's raining, and it's always raining. It's raining so much.
No.
You also have to deal with stamina and durability and some other things like that, but overall, it did a lot of things right. And it looked nice, and it's Zelda's world, so it's always a fun place to explore.
Looks nice, even on Wii U.
Yeah, it didn't look too bad at all, honestly.
Nice.
A little cloud layer, I think,
Wii.
that's all. It really only came up a couple times where there would be an obvious, this would be more fun on the Switch kind of room, and they're all very minor things. They do have a stamina system. That's a big complaint that I'm sure people won't always agree with me on some of these things. For me, I don't understand why stamina's in there at all. It stops you from running all the time. It stops you from climbing. It feels like they could just pull that out of the game and the game would be better for it. I don't understand why it's in. Like,
does it come into play in like combat or anything?
It's always in play. You use it to spin attack in combat. Very minor in combat. Really what it does is it limits your ability to run and it limits your ability to climb.
That would be kind of annoying in a large open world exploration based game.
Yeah, you can upgrade it. And when I upgraded it to the max, it became reasonable. Like, I didn't feel like it was good at the start. Also, weapon inventory is a limited thing, and you have to grow that too. And I didn't like that. But at end game, all of these problems were solved. It was early game that I was really annoyed with.
And how many hours was it until you were at the end game?
Oh, I don't know, probably 20 or 30 before I really started getting something moving. And after about 50 or 60, I was unstoppable, and it was much better then.
Damn.
People have been mentioning to me, someone's in the chat doing it right now, there's a glitch you can use to dodge the stamina, which, you know, isn't the greatest solution to have to use a glitch, and they might even patch it. Nintendo is the kind of company that will patch that kind of stuff, so.
Who would exploit glitches in a Zelda game?
I don't know.
Ever. Not me. I say as Gamer Kel blinks a block out of existence.
It was definitely a lot of fun. I would play it again. Probably will when I get it on the Switch, which I will pick up at some point.
Dan using Fire Rod against Argus, which I've never seen before. Did the job.
I'm getting reports that if anyone's interested in the brackets, Orphis and who was that? Kroya were playing Dust Minion and Dr. Mutagen. Sounds like they won in the lower brackets. So our first round 3, it seems like they got that round 31 LB.
Congratulations.
So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that.
Round 3 in the lower bracket?
Yeah. They lost once, they won once, so they'll be in round 3 now.
Ah, gotcha.
Bracket. That's really what I have to do now on this tournament. The next phase is doing round 2. It's half done. That's the big one. The first round's always the biggest. It's half the race. Once I've finished lower bracket round 1 and 2, we will finally be about 50% done. We're at like 30% right now. It's at that point that I will have eliminated a couple of teams.
Have you ever considered making this a best of 9?
That's a good plan. The tournament's about to start. The big one. They're gonna have another one. They just finished one, but they're in August. They're doing another one. If you're interested in that, and they have best of 3 matches.
Oh God, of this?
Yeah, one-on-ones.
Oh, one-on-ones. That sounds scary, Smite.
Pretty big community watching it. The speed gaming community watches that, not just my little community. So you have like a couple thousand people watching.
Oh,
you know, 1/10 of Proton John's audience will be watching you. Gamer Cal.
Are your highest are your highest arcade viewerships when John's on?
Yeah, I've had a couple big ones without him, but usually he's on when I get the big ones. He brings in a couple hundred people almost always. I've hit 1,000 a couple times on my own, but usually that's... My biggest viewership was actually like 2,000 or 3,000 when I was doing some stupid web game.
Really? What was that game? And why did so many people tune in?
It was the flavor of the month. Agario. You ever play Agario?
Never heard of it.
It's a game where you move a dot around to eat other dots, and it's Flash, and it's online. It was very popular for a week.
You've totally sold me on it already.
Yeah. Basically, I recorded us playing it for like an hour, just talking garbage, and then I moved like the next day. I just put it on YouTube. I come back after 2 weeks of hiatus, and I've earned like $2,000 on YouTube, like the most I've ever earned. It was such a popular video. Got like 1 million hits. Just us sticking around. It's still my most watched thing, I think.
Why was it so popular?
I don't know. Flavor of the month just took off, and for some reason, the YouTube algorithm said, "You know what? Today's the day we'll actually care about you. This is
front page, baby."
Yeah, it must have been because it was way up there.
Well, I'm gonna look at your channel right now. Let's see here. Oh, hey, your front page videos. Certain arcade fit, I noticed.
Nice.
Right. Well, your most popular video is a Rogue Legacy video. Your world record run.
All right. Cool. It took it back over.
But yeah, there's Agario.
Gamer Cal opening up Meyer. These two are just in wrap-up mode, and Green Team's still working on finding the stuff, right? No, they do have the Red Cane. They're ready to go. I'm gonna play their jumps.
Yeah, Red Team's been in go mode. They just have had a lot of dungeons to wrap up since they spent a lot of time searching for said Red Cane.
I mean, Green Team. Green Team just found the Red Cane. They just went into
Oh, Green Team, yeah.
They're ready to go now. They just had to play catch-up, and they're not as far behind as it feels, but they are a couple dungeons back.
Yeah. So it looks like Tear's going to the final dungeon that they've got to do. Gamer Cal, somebody has not been checking off crystals.
It's true.
So
it's because I have a hard time figuring out what crystals he's got. I don't get it, Dectalon. What does agar mean? Does it mean circle? There was another game like that where you were snakes and you would eat snakes. It was just like multiplayer snake in a huge void.
This whole underground gaming market I did not know was so popular.
Slithario.
Slithario?
Slitherio. That's it.
Slitherio?
Yeah.
That's the name you come up with?
That's what they called it. How you doing, bro? Essentia, what's up?
Couldn't help but notice I haven't heard any Rat Race music in your rotation in these races.
It's in there.
You got all the other Hot Toads tracks, hashtag Hot Toads tracks, but not the Rat Race one.
It's in there somewhere. Here, I have somebody
believe you.
playing it on piano.
Yeah.
Makes it sound like real music. You can tell that's what it was meant to be. When
What song needs classing up a little bit? I know. How about the situation where you're racing rodents in a long shaft with balls and poison gas trying to kill you? This
can
deserves
find,
a classical spin, for to be sure.
You can find David Wise's interview about how he made this music and changed it from like piano and real instruments into what he said was programming a doorbell, basically. Like, he really didn't like the way it sounded on the NES chip after writing it. But he made a lot of good music.
He did. What else did Dave Wise do besides the Toad stuff?
Every single game by Rare up until like 1998.
So all the DKC stuff?
He was one of 3 people on those. So yeah, his
Yeah.
name is attached to those.
Hmm.
Anything with Rare's name on it, it's quite a few games.
It is. Probably a lot I've not played.
A lot you have, though. Marble Madness is definitely on that list,
Hmm.
I think.
So Dan is in Skullwoods, but why?
Battletoads and Donkey Kong Country are definitely the biggest titles.
Mm-hmm. Of all time, period. The end.
Yeah, I agree. It's ape time.
Hmm. But yeah, assuming Linebeck told Dan that the Red Cane was in the Ice Palace.
I think Gamer Cal has all the crystals as well, just missing one. I'm going to assume that's the case as he goes up to Turtle Rock.
Does appear they are converging on the final dungeon. Whereas Green still has at least 2 or 3 due.
I like Battletoads, I'd replay it. I played it recently on the Sega. That version sucks.
Perhaps I was wrong. Is Skull required?
Skull
I thought Skull was a pendant dungeon. Okay. Just trying to suss out why Dan is clearing it right now.
That's a good question. They didn't need Quake,
they
did
don't-
they?
No?
Terra doesn't
well,
have it.
You can see on GamerCal's side if Quake was the pendant for here. If it is Quake, then that makes sense.
It wasn't unless Terra didn't do Mire. It did.
Oh yeah, it's Bombos. Did I call that out earlier? Yes, I'm not sure why Dan is here. Because they're not missing anything else.
I played the Aria of Sorrow randomizer plenty. It's pretty good. Would recommend. I'm actually.
Does
involved with,
does every old game have a randomizer now?
I mean, those ones are good choices, the Metroidvanias, and I actually have. I don't want to say working relationship, but it kind of is with various indie devs, and one of them is creating the randomizer for the DSvanias as well.
Oh.
Like, I'm pretty lazy. If there's a working relationship, then I'm definitely the one slacking on it because I don't play enough different games. I don't keep up, but I do have access to the DSvania randomizers, and I should run through them at some point because they are coming along.
Like dibs. Also, what is the Moon Pearl of Cat Boo? I'd kind of.
It's a mouse
For the bunny
of some
form?
kind. It's some kind of gross
Mouse?
space mouse. I didn't recognize it.
Ew. Disgusting.
He turns
See.
into Slimer. Well, that's that then. I didn't recognize Slimer.
Disgusting. So neither team has found silver arrows, correct?
Nope. They might.
Gamer
need
Cal
that.
getting pushed around a little bit in the locker room, but
You know what?
does not fall.
I just saw Lineback win without silver arrows actually, and Dan probably did as well because of where they were in the weekly. So they don't need that. That's supposed to be Slimer. Is that what you're telling me?
Mm,
No, I'm not seeing that.
I don't really see it either, no. And why is the bunny form of Frog Bomberman? Someone explain that. How are those two related?
Randomizers are not great in most things.
Period.
They really aren't. I mean,
How about the Final Fantasy VI randomizer, Smite? When are you going to try that?
all the RPG randomizers I've tried are really bad. There's one for Chrono Trigger too, and it sucks as well. Mario RPG has an atrocious one. FF5,
So in those,
apparently.
they just, like, everyone has random skills?
Yeah, stuff like that. It's just, even when it's well done, if you want to say well done, like when it's made by people who have made good things, they can't make it work very well. It just isn't fun. It's just not that kind of game. This works really well because it's a exploration involved kind of thing. Like, that's a very important part of it, is that you explore. It has to be a game element. Otherwise, random, like Kirby can randomize the enemies you eat. Who cares, right? Like, whatever. That's not really fun. It's not. It's just confusing. This is working because it's a Metroidvania kind of element to it now, where you gotta figure out where access is, and obviously the Metroidvanias themselves work because that's what they are.
Sure. Yeah, I tried a Mario World one once, but all it was like, hey, here's a random Mario stage.
Yeah, Author Blues made that. And it's
I mean, it's
pretty
well
good.
done.
Yeah, it's as good as it can be without making new stages.
Yeah, exactly. It's just there's just limited stuff you can get out of it compared to something like this. What about a Breath of the Wild randomizer?
Honestly, that game doesn't really reward you much. You usually get heart pieces for everything. And
What about
generic
random
weapon.
durability on every weapon you get, though?
That would be probably an improvement, because usually my weapons always break, so, you know.
But the durability is between like 1 and 5 for everything.
If you want to continue to make people mad and have me talk about what I think are limitations of Breath of the Wild, I can go ahead and mention that I didn't feel like the game knew how to reward me for activities. I did
Well, if everything you get breaks...
Well, that's one thing. So they couldn't give me weaponry that I cared about because it was all temporary, all of it. The other thing was there was like 100-something shrines. I did 95 of them. I did quite a few. You get a heart piece for every single one of those, basically. So the only motivation I have after having like 30 hearts is to, like, I maxed out at, like, I think you can have 30 hearts. I had like 20, and I was way over the ability to die. They didn't know what to do to keep me doing those. I did them for fun. Like, it really wasn't giving me, like,
Classic
in this game.
end-game conundrum.
Yeah, like every Zelda game I've ever played, you get, you know, something every dungeon. Usually, you get a Mirror Shield or something. You get something, hookshot. You get all this great stuff that makes the game even better after you're done. But that's really not the case. I felt that was a weakness, just because of the open world nature of it. They didn't really have any prize to go after.
Oh yeah, place your bets 1 to 22 on the Ganon's Tower chest, FYI. Although it looks like it was already found, so never mind. I turned away for a second, and I see that Tara's going upstairs. But place your bets anyway.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
It must have been very quick on the right, because I saw Tara go on the right downstairs, then I turned away, then I turned back, and immediately going up.
Well, you know me, I get carried away when I'm insulting the game of the year.
What is your current game of the year, Smite?
I don't know. That one was pretty good. I'd have to think about what other things I've played that are new for this year. I usually don't play things that are brand new.
It's true. You're a retro gamer, as they say.
Clips are subs only in Devon. I'm not sure what Nightbot's problem is with that link type not being banned. They found a way. Like, Nightbot will ban, like, if you just type in something with a dot in it that's not even a link, it still should hit you up with a temporary timeout. I don't know why that
I
one's...
need to turn off links in my Nightbot, I think.
Yeah, you do. It's just it's mandatory. At this
All the
point.
ones that people have tried posting are innocuous. I didn't know it hit clips as well, though. To think
Should.
Nightbot is blocking people from showing off humorous hashtag content from my content?
Well, you can just
I mean,
let
that's
them
not
through
good.
at that point.
Yeah. Gotta let them through. Let's see, so red tearing up Ganon's tower while green has at least between each 2 dungeons to wrap up.
Yeah,
Possibly 3 with Lineback.
This is uncontested at this point. They've got another 30 minutes left, honestly.
Yeah.
If they're fast.
What could be a scenario where Red loses this match?
Dying in Ganon's Tower a bunch would be the biggest way to lose time at this point.
Dying in Ganon's Tower, which makes them tilt a little bit, and they destroy their computer.
Yeah.
They have to go out.
Tower.
They have to go out, buy a new computer, set up that new computer, get internet plugged into it properly. Maybe they have some trouble like with something getting the internet going. Could they lose in that case?
Maybe. I mean, he is playing the Invisible Man, so you got to give him a couple lives.
Yeah. I am the Invisible Man. Maybe you accidentally gave them a seed that was makes Ganon invincible.
I mean, that's possible, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has
and
silver
maybe
arrows.
Yeah. No silver arrows, but they got the tempered sword.
Yep.
Gold sword never to be found.
Could be here in these last chests. It's not happening. 2 left.
It's I would bet on it being on the left side somewhere, probably along with the silvers.
Tara forgot his key. He needs it in this room.
Whoopsie daisy. Tara going too fast. I always forget that key too.
Tara's gonna grab a 2 HP heal here and 50 rupees. No good.
Probably hoping for a quick silvers pick me up, but no. Perhaps Moldorm is guarding them.
Nice clear. Honestly, I really like Dead Cells a whole lot, and that's kind of new. I don't know if I'd say it's better than Breath of the Wild, though. It's a goofy little indie game that needs some work, but it's pretty fun. Yeah, Dead Cells. Tara is disconnected. Hopefully not. Waiting for it to come back online here.
Oh, hey, we were hypothesizing about what it would take for Red to lose. Perhaps we're experiencing it now.
We'll never know what's in that chest.
Let me tell you, if I disconnected and I was winning in a race, I would be shedding some bloody tears right about now. Welcome back to randomizer races. Stream's gone offline for Tear, but able to plug his twitch.tv account. Maybe that was the plan this whole time.
That's right.
Able to get the... So now you can look at his stream. Now the question is, was it just a stream issue? Or has the game itself crashed?
He hasn't gone off Discord, so I'm gonna make sure he's aware that his stream is offline.
Yeah.
He's coming back.
Maybe
on.
Tear is just knows that they're really far ahead and is being that kind of like...
It's not about Muzines. It's not about Lowers. It's not about Rofies. Trips around world. Or some censorship deal. It's not even about this ad. It's about
I don't even know what it's selling. About He Game?
And our connection to it.
And our connection to it? Back to the game, fastest internet. Oozing Oh, the Finity X-Fi, of course. Oh, it's back.
It's Ganon time. And silver arrows were in that chest. Did you see GamerCow just grab those? Nice. Apparently,
Tear did not equip Adblock before encountering Ganon. Ganon played a quick commercial.
The last chest in Ganon's Tower had silver arrows, so he has them.
Oh, that was the Moldorm chest? Or the...
Yeah, GamerCow picked them up just now, so Tear also has them.
Nice.
He also has advertisement written on his thing now for some...
But will Ganon mix up this fight by playing some more ads? as the floor disintegrates. Because if ads show up again, Link will not be able to see through the ads and could fall. Something to consider. Sponsored silvers, that's right. So Gamer Cal and Terra will be the first to advance to round 4. Is that right? Let's see.
Terra's done. 123.40-ish.
It's official.
Yep, he's doing a hammer dash.
Classy.
Mid-Ganon here. 123.45.
I just want to know what's required to buy the red cane bow and boomerang. It's locked behind an advertisement.
That's too bad.
It's a shame. So Terra and Gamercat will advance to round 4. They will face either Problems and Spoody or Solsky and Bentizi
Good racers.
in round 4. That ought to be a tight match. So then Dan and Lineback will fall to the lower bracket where they will... Looks like it'll be a while before they know who their opponent is.
Yeah, hopefully they won't play Invisible Man in the lower bracket.
Hopefully Lineback learned a valuable lesson. I actually had a hard time telling if being invisible impeded Lineback much or not.
I can't imagine that it didn't. I don't see how it couldn't affect... I mean, he made mistakes related to playing well, and I would just blame Invisible Man every time. Maybe that's why. Just a bold and always working excuse.
Perhaps they're playing some sort of longer con. Perhaps they know something about the lower bracket, and they're ready just to tear it up, to terrorize it.
If you hit Ganon away from the walls, you can do that double hit that GamerCal did twice in a row, instantly killing Ganon.
Oh, dang.
4 arrows required, got both of them in 2 passes.
Finishing within less than 2 seconds of each other, impressive.
Nice work. Red team has won handily here. 125-18. 19, 20. Open the door, Ganon. What's the story?
Morning Glory. What's the word?
125-29.
Impressive showing by Red Team. GamerCal never even needed the boomerang. Or maybe they had it, but you didn't check it off since that's the tracker you're helping.
Possibly. I don't care about the boomerang. I won't even track it. I refuse.
Don't even dignify. Why is it even on the tracker?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, the reason it is, honestly, is because
It's a collectible.
I put the bombs on there, too, just because... Lineback's using the one I gave you. Because the entire first 4x5 grid is the items menu, so if you have the boomerang, you can look at your tracker instead of the game's menu and not waste as much time panning around.
It makes things even.
You know what buttons to press when you open the menu without opening the menu if you know you have the boomerang or not. That's the only reason why I put it in there.
It's fair.
I'm gonna give them an invite to come in here if they want to discuss.
The post-game interview.
Yeah.
Chat, what are the burning questions to ask this team?
Ask them questions about the other team. So what was it like racing against Lineback? How did that
How
make you
trash did you think the other team was? What was it like knowing that one of your opponents was playing the Invisible Man?
Look at that cat ghost dash. Ridiculous. Lineback and Dan are finishing up. They are on their last 2 dungeons, so we're looking at 15-20 minutes for them here. They'll finish under 2 hours, not a terrible time.
They are both hitting up Turtle Rock.
How's it going, Gamer Cal Terror, how do you do? Nice work.
Hello.
Congratulations to both of you. You are the first team to advance to round 4. What are you going to do next?
Good question. Waiting for the next round.
It'll be a while, but you will be playing against. I can see your potential opponents are either Problems IRL and Spitty Biscuit or Solsky and Bentizi.
It's gonna be Problems IRL and his teammate, I believe.
You don't trust Solsky and Bentizi to take it?
Nah.
No votes or comments here. Alright, well, these guys, they just did not get that red cane forever. It took them a long time to go to ice.
That's too bad.
That was the item.
That, and they're playing the Invisible Man and the Boo. I don't know why.
Yeah, they were playing the sub-tier sprites, to be sure, which probably caused some problems for both of them.
Pretty interesting choice to play the Invisible Man in a tournament, but there it is.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you gonna do? If that's how they want to play, that's what they're gonna do, you know?
So did you come into this open with a strategy in mind, or did you kind of improvise going to places as you went along?
Well, I think you saw my flipperless hula hand at the start. That was my main sort of strategy for it, was to do that so I would definitely have money to do the Kakariko stuff, maybe look at Zora early, because Zora can be quite important for these things. So that's my usual play anyway, and it just happens to kind of work with what Tara wants to do regardless. So it's convenient, you know.
It worked out very nicely for you.
Second time I've ever seen the Chris Houlihan room show up. It's an interesting and solid plan for this open stuff.
Yep. Now that I've learned how to do that 100%, like, that is fully consistent for me now. I've worked out all the kinks for it, so it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna do that pretty much every seed almost, because it gives me the money at the start. Yeah, so that's effectively why, is the reason I've started adding that into my runs instead of just save quitting to Link's house, is to go to basically go to your house via the Houlihan room, because that's always where it dumps you. So it's like a save quit, but it just takes maybe a minute longer and gives you 225 rupees as well, which is really good for the start of open mode.
Yeah.
Takes care of the bombs and the bottle guy, and you have some extra to spend too.
Yep. There's no other really effective way to farm for cash that early in the game, is there?
Not unless you've got poultry tiers or stuff like that, but the blue tier this time is the only one I checked, but that was terrible. That was single rupees, and the bush crab was bombs, so it's more difficult to do that. Of course, it changes a bit if you get like 50 rupees or something in that chest in Sanctuary, then you might just do Kakariko anyway, because you've got enough money to buy bombs, so you might just do that. Worst case scenario, you get flippers out of that chest, because you can't do the Houlihan room that way if you've got flippers. You've got to do it a different way. So, you know, it can get messed up, but it's very rare. So
these two are finishing up Turtle Rock. Finally, they're finally getting to Ganis Tower. They're not terribly far behind, but they had a lot of trouble, especially the early game. They didn't know what to. They did Aghanim as well. But
yeah,
I was afraid Dan would not finish Tower of Hera. He got the bow and for some reason backed out. Didn't want to kill the boss.
Yeah, he left before fighting Moldorm.
Which had the hammer. He went back in pretty quickly, and I think it's because he did the math in his head that there's literally nowhere else in the game to go. You gotta go there and get your hammer. It's the only place left.
Yeah, that's just how it's gonna go. Yeah, we have done a couple of races with other people from like Willard's Discord. Willard J. Bradley's not playing in the tournament, but you know, he's a pretty prominent runner and stuff otherwise. And we've done a few 2v2s with him and, you know, people in his Discord. And one of them we lost because Flute, the last item we needed pretty much, was at Moldorm in Pendant Hera. So as soon as I was in that area, I was like, no, I am doing this. It is getting fully cleared, and that is it. There is no way that I am skimping out on that this time. It's cost us before, it could cost us again, and really the only other option was Easton, right? Without actually having the means to finish it. So didn't really think there was much of a disadvantage for going up there. And then it just worked out nicely because I was thinking, right, I'll do that, and then I was gonna go back down and do Eastern or something, and then I got the hammer, so I was like, right, well, I've got the hammer, let's just keep going then. Went round, got the Tinesmith, okay, I've got the Tinesmith, let's just keep going then. So I wasn't planning on doing all of Death Mountain in one shot there, but that's just how it goes.
It worked out.
Rip the sub-free menu time this time. Oh well. I've been getting really a lot of sub-free menus in my runs recently, so it's almost disappointing. Not really, but it's like almost disappointing that I didn't get it there, because with this run being so fast, like sub-free in the weekly, and I finished a weekly almost 15 minutes slower than this one, so
butchered me. I hated this one. I hated it because it was too good. I took some risks and they completely backfired. It was all on track with where you would normally go. We got people finishing in 75 minutes and I'm taking an hour and 50. It was awful.
Yeah, you made a lot of 60th place moves, I couldn't help but notice.
Yeah, I was the best at that.
Yep.
If 60th place was the goal, you better watch out.
Yeah, solid strat.
I know why my menu was so rough in this one. The biggest problem with this one was that we had no book, and like no bug net or anything, so menuing from the mirror to either the hammer or the flute was a nightmare. Like every single time it was go over to the bottle, go up one, go across to the hammer or the flute, and it's horrible menuing to have to do that, but there's no other way to really get there efficiently in this menu, so it's just that definitely slowed it down a bit.
Dan is at risk in Turtle Rock right now, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with the one heart plan here. This isn't good. You're kind of
It
good.
doesn't have the hookshot equipped either to glitch through the fire.
Oh, he's got a blue potion. He decided that he has to do
Okay, there we go.
Nice. Yeah, I was quite happy to see those because it saves me buying them at any point. So, I don't always buy potions, but it's a case, depending on the resources, if I'm looking particularly light on something, especially if I don't have half magic, then it's like, yeah, I probably should get one just to be on the safe side.
It seemed like a pretty safe seed in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff around. 2 blue potions, there was an empty bottle, which I didn't use. I got 11 hearts. I didn't end up managing to get the red mail and ice. Like, Tara told me it was there, but we couldn't pin down where the big key was. So I was like, oh, okay. Because he told me it was before he got Cane of Samaria was where he got the big key. So I opened the chest that you would get before that, not where the vanilla big key would be. And I just couldn't get it. So that, it's probably that one chest is really far away then, and I'm not wasting my time for that. I don't need red mail that badly.
Yeah, once you got blue and enough hearts, you're usually fine.
Yeah.
These two are straight synced up at this point.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we had this grand plan of going opposite sides in Garda's Tower, and then Tara did the right bit first because he got there first. It was like, yeah, you don't need to do anything else. Okay. Because I was going to go right side. Like, that was the thing. Like, Tara was going to do the left-hand side, just do the standard route, and then I was going to go right, and it would be fine. We'd be split up, do the usual stuff. Oh, no, the big key and the small key is on the right side. Have fun. And then Silver's Invalidation. That was good fun.
Yeah, I missed that when Tara got there. His stream died for a minute, and then you picked him up, and I knew exactly what he had.
Yeah, because I asked him since he was further up. I was like, "You gonna check the chest on the way up?" And he was like, "Yeah, let's just do that." And just like red rupee, 50 rupees, bombs or something, and the other one maybe another red rupee, and then Silver's Invalidation. Yes, okay, let's go.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely worth it when you're in teams. Like, that just buys a ton of time. The risk is very tiny. Check all that stuff.
I mean, we're obviously more than capable of doing Silverless. They did Silverless in the weekly, so, obviously capable of it, but...
Out of 120 people, how many people went into blinds and got their stupid arrows?
I mean, I did first 4 in Thieves Town, but it wasn't there, so...
It was in, I think it was the one where you have to blow open the hole in the ceiling. I went back and looked when Ganon said, because I felt like I missed him, but I didn't. It was way in the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think anyone short of somebody who did all 3 pendant dungeons got those. Like, maybe somebody.
I nearly did all 3, because I did first 4 Thieves, and I did the other 2, so...
Yeah, I was
actually, Dan got them.
Did he? I was hoping for that weekly to be a alter having the bombos. That would have made my day. I would have been first place for sure with that. Like, I was ready, and it wasn't that at all. It was way worse for me than that.
Yeah, it's like one of the things I really love about the team stuff here is something I was saying to Tara at the end of the run. Is like, this is a run where I cleared every single dungeon and it's still a 125. Like, that is absolutely insane.
Yeah,
It's
nice.
just, thank goodness for 2v2 stuff that way, right? Because, normally that sort of full clear is like an hour 50-ish, but because we've got the ability to split up a little bit, was worked out really nice. But I mean, at that point, it was just, I've already done Hera. I know Hera didn't take the pendant, so it's like, I've done Hera, I'm going to do Pod Eastern at some point. Got put back a little bit because of other stuff going on, but eventually did Pod Eastern, and then it was a case of, well, I've got 2 pendants now, let's just do the third one and blind pull the pedestal because we can, We're still looking for Kane Samaria at that point. So,
I missed when you guys went through it so fast, and I see now why we missed it, where the big key was in chest
Very
1.
first chest.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense as to why we didn't
Yep.
see that. Like, we just
But to
looked
wait
down
for a
and-
second, and suddenly you were both going upstairs. It's like, oh.
Lineback almost forgot the little key. He turned around. I'm glad he did.
Yeah, Lineback got a little too greedy for a second, then realized better.
Yeah, because, Terra opened all the chests upstairs. There's no small key up there. So, whew.
Lineback managing to grab the statue as Invisible Man.
Yeah, my ascent was not the greatest in places, admittedly, but it happens sometimes.
So the question is, will Green Team find those silver arrows, or will they feel like they're in so much of a rush that they decide to bypass the Meldorm chest?
It's a good question.
We'll see what their mentality is when they get to that point.
I have a feeling they'll check it.
Yeah, if it's teams, you'd think. But every second counts. See, Dan having a solid gauntlet so far as well.
Why did you get your shield purposely eaten? I didn't see that. I saw other
Oh,
things.
it's a little thing that we have a habit of trying to do these things without picking up a shield, or at least one of us without picking up. So when I got 2 shields in the I got 2 shields in the height cave, Tara's like, yeah, okay, not picking those up, make sure not to do the chest there. And then when he got to stump kickers, he was doing South Tower, it's just his shields like, dang, I don't want this. So that was actually the reason why he did swamp as early as he did in the end, is because, do you remember, the picket was down there to go and eat the shield, so he didn't have one in play specifically for that. Yeah, just
Oh.
I was tempted to go and pick it up at one point, actually, when I was looking at it, thinking, well, I might get there. I've got the other 2, I may as well. Thinking I might be able to do laser bridge stuff there, and it does help in that first, the 2 mimic rooms in Ganon's tower. So turns out I messed up the second one, so I could have maybe done with it, but I ended up thinking it was just not worth the time. It's not too far out of the way, but it's far enough out of the way that I'm just like, no, it's not really worth it. Fireball shield is good enough.
That's fair. Makes sense.
I mean, if it was gold sword, obviously you would go and get it, but there's not much point otherwise.
Hmm. Dan fell a little sooner than he meant to, but not a big deal.
Yeah, they're doing all right.
Yeah.
They have
It's a pretty clean
everything
Gans tower, all things considered.
pretty free, clear here.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now, can Lineback walk across this floor as the Invisible Man? Nope, takes a fall.
It was Wednesday, I think. We hosted a race where somebody did the despawn glitch here.
Ooh,
In
What's
mid-race. If you go
Oh,
up the
I saw
stairs,
that, yeah.
Yeah, if you go up the stairs to the same frame where that door closes or something like that, it despawns the castle, including the boss. He must leave and come back.
I've had that happen before as well. I've actually had that happen after Mordorn 2 as well. I had no idea about how I'd done it because I've never replicated it. But I had one time where the camera just like double scrolled through that room, if you will, and it just despawned everything after beating Mordorn 2. I was like, what? How did that happen? Never managed to replicate it since. So I don't know. I don't know what was up with it, but
I think it should count as a finish because you've technically defeated Ganon by blinking him and everyone else in the tower out of existence.
that's true because Ganon is technically in his tower. I mean, you don't fight him there, but he is. It's a bat that lives in Aghanim, so
yeah, should count as time. And Dan gets the silver arrows.
I thought he might.
Yeah, I noticed you got the rupees in the chest before, so it's a pretty safe bet to get those two.
What he didn't do was fill up his mana, and now he doesn't have any for the
Oh,
boss,
yeah.
and I don't know why.
That's maybe he's got some potions and doesn't think it's necessary.
I mean, you got a full heal and a full mana up in that room, and he just chose not to do it. You definitely need mana for the upcoming battle. There's no way around it.
Yeah, so if I had silver arrows, I would have skipped past the, even though I was at 2 hearts, I would have skipped past the bunny beam thing just before the land mole 2, and I would have used a potion instead for healing there, because I can do the quick heal with silvers, but I can't really do it that well with Fire Rod, as you probably saw when I was doing Desert anyway. Didn't exactly work out too well, so it's like, because of not having the silver zinc, it's just as easy if I get the heal with the bunny beam here, rather than bothering with the potion at that time.
I guess we're gonna see if Dan has any way to get mana back, because he can't I don't think he can even run the torch even with half mana more than twice.
Yeah, I don't think even the lantern will work. Maybe one lantern shot?
It depends. Like, there's a point where you have that little tick and it doesn't light, and it might be already there.
So you get, if he's assuming half magic as well, because that was at King's Tomb, if I remember rightly. So assuming half magic as well, you get, 4 uses of the lantern per 1/8 of magic?
Oh no, Dan does not have the potions. Has to warp back
Oh,
and get
no.
some. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So Lineback could finish first.
Was Dan the one that did Agar in this case, or?
Lineback did Aghanim.
Okay, so he doesn't even have a good teleport spot back.
No, unfortunately.
He just wrong warped twice. I mean, oh no, he just wrong warped again. What are you doing, Dan?
Wait, what happened? What? Did Dan change his mind?
I don't know where he's gone.
Oh, I bet he's going into the... No? Okay. I thought maybe he might go into the fairy place and just see if the fairy would give him...
I mean, he had it. He just went down
in the
there.
bottles?
He wants a better warp spot, I guess. But now Lineback will be the first
Oh,
one.
that makes sense.
That was weird.
That makes sense then. I can see that.
He was having trouble getting off the wall.
Yeah.
Buys a green potion and 2 blues. Now he's ready. You can get a free heal off this guy too if you want to.
So is Lineback going to go straight down or seek some extra health before? No, Lineback also not going to gain quite yet. Oh, it's
That's
doing the same.
It's one nice thing about the new version is that the bonk trees and the bonk rocks and stuff have been switched back to being what they were in vanilla. So that fairy that's in the tree down at the base of the pyramid, that's back now. So it's not randomized anymore. So if you do need a heal, just health-wise before Ganon, then you can use that.
So that fairy will now always give you a red potion if you throw an empty bottle in there?
No, there's a fairy that you bonk into the tree, the left tree at the base of the pyramid.
Gotcha.
All of those items have been replaced now, back to what they were. They used to be randomized, so you're not going to get bees out of that tree anymore, basically. Which just sadly also means no mountain bees, but you know. I think it was always funny when you dashed into that into the rock at the top of East Death Mountain, the rock power that gives the fairy there. He dashed into that and got bees instead when you were really looking for health. That's kind of amazing, but no longer the case.
So the fairy still gives you a randomized bottle item if you
Yes.
throw a bottle in there?
Still gives a randomized bottle winning.
Gotcha. So who will beat Ganon first? Dan got there a little bit earlier.
The one item that really makes a difference to me that way, though, is the outside of Kakariko. There's the full magic that you get from the tree just before hammering the peg down to go to the Dark World. That's the one that really matters to me, because that's the best spot for magic in the entire game, really.
Oh, good tip. Okay, Dan nails the glitch. Should be a pretty easy Ganon fight. No, gets a little greedy, goes for the 2 arrows, but doesn't get it. Nailed the double hitter that time, though. And finishes it. Solid Ganon fight. So that's roughly a 149er for Dan.
It's not too bad, really.
Yeah, solid.
148.58.
See, I didn't see if Lineback got the glitch as well or not, but probably doesn't matter either way.
Nah, the nice thing when you've got silvers is that you don't really need to care too much about the torch glitch.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's more beneficial not to get it so that you can set up for a triple instead.
Yeah. Taking a safety potion. And what, one more hit?
Got him.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Do you think they'll ever introduce a feature in Randomizer where you can use L and R to switch between your items?
That's been talked about and has been rejected on, I forget exactly what grounds it was. I think it's more just the fact of menuing itself is a skill, and it's too much of a change from the original game. But that has definitely come up in conversations before, because I remember reading quite a few of Discord things about that.
Well, I am 10,000% for that. And there's also another thing that probably hasn't come up. The BS Zelda game that the girl and the boy sprites are from has boots that turn.
Oh,
Okay.
you're right.
They let you rotate while running. Those could be inserted as well, but I doubt that will happen. But that would be amazing. I would love to play that.
That's not gonna happen.
I believe Sabi added in a randomizer that option to L on air for switching your items.
Looks like Dan blanked the floor out of existence again in his emulator. Turned it back on though.
Yeah,
I
read
didn't
that
notice,
at the start.
Yeah, Dan had some issues at the beginning where he could not navigate the escape in Hyrule Castle because the floor was deactivated, and he just he had to do some quick behind-the-scenes tech and restart the escape to get that fixed. That cost, you say, a minute or two.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and bring them on in here as well.
Yep.
Dan, Lineback, what's going on? Nice work.
Hey. Yeah, you're probably wondering. You're
Why you
probably
picked
wondering about
Invisible Man?
Skullwood.
I am wondering about Invisible Man. Why is that a thing?
So was I, actually.
Tell us about the sprite choice.
Before the race, I made sure to master bomb jumping as Invisible Man. So there.
But
It's
why
actually very
play
easy.
Invisible Man? What is your what draws you to Invisible Man?
It's incredible how you can see right through him.
Look, he's not invisible. It's just only the truly honest can see him.
Only those who truly believe.
Oh my god, that changes everything.
The Emperor's new body.
Yes, if you truly
How
believe
fast
in
did you
a
guys finish, by the way? Because, like, I saw on the Discord GG, like, when we were like, 25 minutes ago, I think it was? Like,
Pretty much.
damn.
They finished about a little over 20 minutes before y'all.
Wow.
I finished second at 125.19 according to my timer, so
Yeah, that was about what I expected, to be honest, against you guys. I shouldn't have went to Skull. Not that it mattered, but I shouldn't have went to Skull Woods. I thought Sobers might have been there, but
Yeah, I cleared every dungeon in this run. Just that's the one like joy of 2v2 in my eyes. I cleared every dungeon in this run, and yeah, I hit. That is just. But I found it kind of funny when Quake came out the pedestal, because Skull Woods was the last pendant dungeon I did, obviously. So it's like, yeah, just blind pull the pedestal just to see if Kane Samaria was there, because that's what we're looking for. Would have been really bad if it was, because Terra didn't pick up the pendant. Terra didn't pick up the pendant out of Moldorm when he went to get the hammer, deliberately left it behind, just fell down holding it. So,
why? Why?
Well,
Because
Terra also got his shield eaten on purpose, for what it's worth.
Wait, you actually did?
Yeah, we have
a
this little
like-
mini challenge thing between us where we try and have at least one of us not pick up a shield during the whole run, because, I don't know, it's just a silly thing for it. So I picked up the 2 shields and I came, so, you know, and then he picked up the one that was from the Stump Kid, and they was like, I don't want this, right? I'm gonna do Swamp next so that I can get it eaten by the picket that's outside Swamp. So
I don't know if I should be annoyed or if I should be laughing at that. Because, like, annoyed because, like, it felt like you didn't take it seriously at that point. But
well, I don't know about that.
a fun match. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Better than the last season might put us through.
We were just
Yeah.
slower. They're just not as good as a game as these two, right? Yeah.
You were falling behind
Yeah.
over the course of the whole thing, but you didn't find the red cane for a long time either.
Yeah, that was the killer.
Yeah.
And the hammer as well.
Yeah.
You almost
That,
left it. Damn.
I
Almost decided to forget Waldorm.
Yeah.
It seemed like he realized that there was nowhere else to go.
Oh yeah, I realized immediately as soon as I left. Like, wait a minute, map was in basement. Shit. Because I never bothered
Man.
to pick it up.
We were yelling about
They
it
also-
because if you forgot that would have been game over instantly.
would've-
There's no recovery
Oh,
from
yeah.
that kind of mistake.
Oh yeah.
Especially in 2
And
on
I'm
2.
so. And it's funny. Linebeck actually said, "Imagine Moldorm actually had something like the hammer or the cane. What was it, like the hammer or the bow or some shit?" And they
He
were
had to
both
have
there
all
in
mate.
Hera.
He straight up had to at that point.
It's that.
Yeah.
Sounds like Linebeck was pure of heart enough to see the Invisible Man and to know that Moldorm had something crucial.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's not much to do in Light World before you have Dark World access. To be fair.
But by the way, I'm just gonna say it now. Next time, before the next round, Dan, please try to practice the game to the point where you don't keep dying to embarrassing things.
I still finished before you, though, didn't I?
Yeah, but I'm naturally slow. Yeah, because I like to not die. But yeah, the better team won.
Y'all will have some time to prepare for your next round because it'll be one of
fucking-
3 teams that you're playing against.
That fucking
So
3
2 other
points of
matches
damage
have
on
to happen.
Green Mail.
Yeah, you guys are in round
Wait.
3 on the lower bracket, so it'll be a while. Terran Gamer Cal, you're the first ones in round 4, so that'll be an even longer while, but we'll see. Eventually that'll happen. Maybe
It's
2
fine.
weeks
We've,
out.
we've got time.
I've got to go through the entire round 2 losers bracket, so that'll take me a bit. I gotta get to work on that. That's my agenda next week is all lower bracket games, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Gives me some time
Oh,
first. Well, I need
hey,
to master
guys.
the Chris Houlihan room.
Yeah,
After
that's a
watching
good
this.
thing to learn.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's not
Yeah,
too
I need to
bad.
learn
I mean,
some
it's
of
a
the
little bit
tricks.
picky about positioning when it comes to doing that one, but it's if you hug the 2 walls, basically going after exiting Sanctuary, if you hug the 2 walls and don't move further down the screen on the graveyard one, then you just walk up, you jump off the ledge, you'll see the camera scroll up. So if you look at the grass patch, you'll see that it's getting closer and closer to the bottom of the screen, and when you've done that about 4 times, you lift up the bush and you drop in, and that's the Houlihan room.
Nice.
What's in the Houlihan? Because I've never actually been in there before.
Lots of money.
225 rupees and a message box saying it's a secret to everybody.
Oh. So it's good from. It's only good if you need money then.
Yeah, well, I did it at the very start of the run. So I did Sanctuary, then because normally I do Link's house and then the Uncle and the chest below Uncle. So I've merged it into my run now that I've got it consistent. So I basically get those 225 rupees, and when you leave the Hula Hand room, you leave at Link's house. So you basically just walk back in and get the chest there, and then do Uncle and or whatever you want to do from there. But for me, it's Uncle and the chest below Uncle, because I've had too many runs where a sword has been there at the very start, and I miss it for ages when I don't do it. So that is, even when I do single player stuff, that is my go-to start for open mode.
Well, everyone here is on open seats still. Thanks for playing, everybody. I'll see you in Discord whenever those games are ready, and whenever I know who your opponent is, I'll make the room.
Excellent.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Thanks for playing.
All right.
Yeah,
Take
care.
Good night.
We have
Bye, guys.
another race in 2 hours. Let me see. I forget who it is. Let me check my calendar.
That'll
It
be
is
like
much
3 in the
more.
morning for me, so I'll be asleep for that.
Yeah, it's pretty
Well,
late.
that would be 10.
But you
in the
will
morning
dream
for
of
me.
racing this.
I think
I would like to. I would like to
reiterate.
reiterate. I got up at 3 in the morning to do all of this.
Yeah.
It's Peach Drink now on Cal Rabbit and Gene Genie racing in the lower bracket game 35. Thanks for playing, everybody. I'll see you then if you want to come back for that. Otherwise, see you later.
Yeah, I'll be around.
Yeah,
for that,
sure.
There you go.
Later.
Take care, and GG again, guys.
GG, dude.
Yeah.